what the strategy and the end goal here is exactly. Because if the problem is with Iran's nuclear program, that issue was being resolved at the negotiating table with the United States. And U.S. intelligence just yesterday in a reporting reiterated that the program remains civilian. And yes, the Iranians had expanded the program, but that it wasn't weaponized, and they didn't seem to have any plans to weaponize the program. So if that's the issue, that was being done through diplomacy. In fact, there was a round of talks scheduled on Sunday in Oman, which now is called off thanks to the Israeli attack that started 2 days before. And it seems like actually diplomacy was one of the main targets, because the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually has been on the record, it's no secret, on and off the record, has been trying to sabotage any form of diplomacy between Tehran and Washington, any form of normalization, the removing of pressure, of sanctions, of this isolation that one political camp, at least in Iran, has been pushing for 2 decades. Netanyahu tried to sabotage diplomacy under President Obama. He tried to sabotage it, even though it wasn't going anywhere, under President Biden. He tried to pressure the U.S. for the past 2 decades to go to war with Iran. Since the invasion, the U.S. invasion of Iraq, Netanyahu has been calling for a war in Iran on its nuclear sites, etc. So this seems to be, it's been out in the open. He wants a war with Iran. He doesn't want diplomacy normalization. And I don't think the nuclear program is really the problem.
Of course, Netanyahu never wanted any talks with Iran, because this bloodthirsty terrorist's ultimate goal was to bomb the Islamic Republic and throw it into a chaos. Just like he managed to achieve it so successfully in Iraq and Libya. He wants a slave as the head of the state in Iran, just like he has managed all across the Arab world. Anyone who dares to stand up to this terrorist will be eliminated with the American help. And this time is no different. In the US, regardless of who the president is, the individual is always at the beck and call of the rogue settler colony called Israel. That's the flipping truth. Do you know the irony? This man called Donald Trump secured the second term, pledging to never repeat the past mistakes of his predecessors in attacking sovereign countries. He even mocked Barack Obama in 2011, claiming that he would attack Iran to ensure his victory in elections.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran.
His director of intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who first said that Iran was not pursuing a nuclear weapons program before performing a spectacular U-turn after Trump said that she didn't know anything, and released this message as part of her own campaign in 2020.
Trump's actions last night in bombing the Baghdad airport with the targeted killing of Iran's top military general was an act of war, with no authorization or declaration of war from Congress. He has put us in a state of war with Iran and has seriously escalated this tit-for-tat conflict, pushing us deeper into an endless quagmire. So the question is, what's the end goal? What are we trying to achieve here? Trump's policies are short-sighted, damaging, and undermining our national security. We need to get out of Iraq and Syria, bring our troops home. This is the only way that we're going to prevent ourselves from being dragged deeper and deeper into a war with Iran.
What it means is that the US is in firm control of the Israeli lobby. First Gaza, and now this. The US is truly exposed, and there's absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind that its politicians are the loyal servant of a foreign entity called Israel.